Good day.
Eivor, good day.
Word of our growing settlement has reached outside ears, so have a look around. You may see a few new faces.
I want to see the Alliance map. Tell me about Grantebridgeshire.
A force of Danes, called the Summer Army by the Saxons, is camped north of Grantebridge at some ruins across the river. We should curry favor with their leaders, Guthrum and Soma, if we hope to win their trust and allegiance. My scouts did not meet them in person, so I can say little for the state of their army. Consider this a starting point.
I will leave right away.
Good. And may the blessings of Freya follow.
Safe travels.
That is actually a very good idea.
Randvi mentioned this place. The last known location of the Summer Army.
Hey! I'll cut that nagging too!
Oh?
Go, my eyes. Hail! What has happened here?
Who is asking?
Eivor, of the Raven clan.
I have heard the name. You helped the sons of Ragnar overthrow the Mercian king. Well met.
Did you and your men fail to take the village?
No. No, we had it for a time. It was nothing but a cluster of wattle and daub huts when we came. We made it lively. Grantebridge was a thriving hub of trade and song under the care of Soma Ayalskona. But the Saxons took it back. They appeared within the city as if rising from the shadows and drove us out.
What about the city walls and your guards?
The walls were unbreached, the guards unaware.
It was like they burst out of the center of the city itself, setting aflame everything in their path, shouting some nonsense about an ancient order of warriors.
By the time I saw the fires, too many of us were killed or captured. Our Yarskum, Summer, she bellowed the retreat and we took refuge in the ruins. But in the chaos we were separated. She and the bulk of our forces fled northeast into the swamps. I'd follow if we were fit to. We need her iron fist.
I can find Soma. Be ready when we return.
She'll be deep in the fog of the Fenlands by now. Find her longship. That's your best bet.
I must be careful now.
Elder and Wigman drove those Danes from Grantbridge like cattle. Slaughtered them like cattle too.
Soma cannot be far. I should have a look around.
Example to the others. Lord Wigman's wrath is as grand as it is swift. Storm brewing there.
A brutal death is glorious to them. No sense that a peaceful life is a worthwhile thing. How do we stop that?
Swore they're dead.
Pick the coward up!
Together, lad!
cut us loose. Hurry.
Is your Jarl's Kuna nearby?
Not here. Soma dragged the Saxons east from her longship to tire them out and lose them in the fog.
No waking this one.
There. Beached longship. Dane markings. This was a fine longship. Fit for a chief. It must belong to Soma.
Time has come for you.
God damn this sinner!
Together, all right? You're mine! It's been killed.
You're still in fighting shape.
Take him to the shelter for warmth. Slap some moss in that gash and wrap it well. Eggle, look at me. Remember the boars you felled our first day in England? Hold his arms. 9. Large and fat. Fed us for a week.
Yeah.
You'll be chasing more in a month, my friend. You come like a Valkyrie out of the fog. We have no dead to give you.
You must be Soma.
Let's talk elsewhere. Give them a chance to rest.
Quite a hit you took. How many were lost?
It's kind of you to ask, but with so much blood in the water and death on the air, I'd know your name and purpose first.
Eivor of the Raven clan. I came for you, looking for a friend and ally.
I see. I'm Soma, Lord of Grantebridge. Though it seems an order of lunatics wishes to strip me of that title.
The Order of the Ancients?
Sounds right. The Saxon called Wigmund is one of them. He robbed me of my city, forced us into these swamps. I've rallied some of my soldiers, but my 3 advisors are missing. If we hope to retake Grantebridge, I'll need them at my side.
Tell me about them.
They are my best, my inner circle. Birna, Galin, Liv. We may as well be of the same blood.
If I can reunite them and we retake your city, can I call you a friend and ally?
If you can do all that, you can call me whatever you want.
Let's find your advisors.
Agreed. We'll look for signs of their longboats along the river. And if we are swift, we will find them before the wolves do. The fog is more hindrance than hiding place now. Let's light the way back.
Burn long and hot, bright wolf of the branch, and guide Soma's gilded warriors home.
I know what you must think.
What must I think?
That it's foolish to search the Fenlands for so few people.
You told me the soldiers you lost were your best. Vital to retaking the city. Do you think it's foolish?
Not at all.
Then why would I?
You have the look of one who does well with solitude. You're alone, a wanderer. It may be you think of soldiers as war fodder, and little else. But these warriors are more than a blade and shield. But these warriors are more than a blade and shield. They are my family, nothing.
What see you, old friend?
Where was I now? But these warriors are more than a blade and shield. They are my family, nothing. I've lost a city this year. I will not.
A group of Danes held captive.
Free me. I'm no use here. Not if you would be so kind. I've had quite the day.
Let the fog leave. Follow the beacon. Our camp is at its gate. We'll return when we've found the others.
Fight smart. Not much longer.
Use your limbs.
Leif is a prim and proper man, isn't he?
He lives by a strict code of honor, more than most. And builds the best longships I've ever sailed. They're the reason we escaped Grantebridge alive. He's not the strongest man, but he's wise and canny, and hard to pin down. Like a fish wriggling free of a net.
Sunan, guide me.
This longboat is Birna's, I think. All scraped and bashed, it's hard to tell.
Saxons surrounding that old hut. There may be Danes trapped inside.
That's right! Tire yourself out! Weak little kittens. Can't even open one barricaded...
Get back here and face her! Now the lads, we have this. Thank you!
Come, brothers. Let's end this.
God won't let us lose.
You'll do. God damn you.
I heard someone sweeping the hearth outside. We handle it just fine. Thinking of starting a new town, in fact. This house being our first.
Birna, I pitched a camp nearby, under a burning beacon. We'll meet you there when I've found the others.
Thank you so much. And you as well, Sunbeam. We'll head to the camp now. I'll have everyone singing songs and dancing jigs by the time you get back.
Birna is like a grapevine, curly and hard to predict. While Leif is like a wood beam, sturdy, straightforward.
Birna has a genius for tactics, sees well ahead of things. Leif deals with what's just there before him, practical in all ways. Both have helped me find my footing in desperate times. It's important to keep those who disagree with you close, as family.
Wolves. They've surrounded someone. Must be careful.
He's laughing behind his shackles. So he's laughing behind his shackles, wretched carrion beasts. I don't deserve this. Leave me. Run!
Galen, you look terrible.
What happened here?
Saxons chased me into the fog, ran me smack into a nest of bandits. Freya was on my side, and I saw them before they saw me.
Are you the only one of your crew left standing?
I am. I'm standing myself. But with the blessing of Odin and Freya, they'll be feasting well with the gods.
We have a camp nearby, Galen. I'll take you there myself. Eivor, join us when you're ready. The beacon has drawn the last of my soldiers. By tomorrow our strength will have returned, and we can retake our city. I have not yet spoken to Leif, Birna and Galin about this. After my missteps, I worry what they must think of me.
It doesn't matter. What matters is how you lead them forward from this point on.
By Thor's hammer, I am glad we're together. In spite of our setback. Galin, you look well worn. Do not grieve the men you lost. They will be singing your praises in the Corpse Hall, waiting for us.
Thank you, Jarl's Kona.
Leif, you'd outlast any tempest.
It's good to be back, Soma. All as one. And know this, that I will follow you through the eye of the storm if you called.
Birna.
I'm delighted you're alive.
I'm delighted to be living. I lost so many after all this, but I still have you three. That makes me the most blessed warrior in Midgard. And Eivor, you have more than proven your worth. Help us reclaim our city, and you will have an ally in me.
My blade is yours. For Grantebridge.
We'll rest for the night, gather our strength and our wits, and at the break of dawn's light, we retake Grantebridge! Pass the night in our camp, Eivor. Take anything you need.
Looks like more of Soma's forces followed the beacon back to camp. Leif, Soma says you're the man who built her longships.
That's right. Each has a sharp keel, a stout mast, and a poem etched into the hull to sing the praises of the Dringer who commands her. A longship is heavy with fate. Just a few lengths of wood between you and a watery grave. What better place to put a line of poetry, hmm?
Agreed. It's good to fight beside you, Leif.
Likewise, Eivor. Thanks again for plucking me and my warriors from the mire.
Garland, is that right?
That's right. You are Eivor, the infinite fighter, or forever warrior. It's a glorious name.
Many thanks. You were in a tight spot when we found you.
Indeed. The Saxons pursued me, ran me bloody through the swamps and into the lap of bandits. And the wolves came. We all have our one day. The day we die. How you greet that day is all that matters. I'm proud to say that I was ready.
Well, it's good to see you breathing still. You're Björna.
And you're Eivor's sunbeam. You cut through the fog like the sun burns through ice.
You're in high spirits, all things considered. The ambush, losing your home.
In this moment, yes. But you feel that? The moment has passed. We are free to pursue the next. What a gift!
It's good to have you in this fight, Vienna.
I like you, Eivor. You may help me here or step on me, and by the look of you, I'd welcome either.
The day is new and the air is bracing. Are you ready for the fight ahead?
Let's take your city back.
That's what I like to hear. Meet me at the western gate of Grantbridge. We've assembled there.
Have care you do not enjoy taking orders from anyone but your Jarl back home. I fight for Sigurd, none else.
While you're on this ship, Dag, you fight for me, and for Soma's loyalty. We fight for her. Let the sail out!
Save it for later. Barracks of some kind?
Stay here!
Drop the mast! We can continue.
Teams, hidden. One on each side of the door. Move when you get the signal and not a moment. Wigmund! Honor thief! I know you're up there. Return Grantbridge to me, Wigmund. No more of our people need die. We may talk this out, lord to lord.
What are we to talk about? You have nothing I need. Worth by birth, heathen. I was born a noble. You were plucked from a giant's armpit.
I built this town. From a mud hut to a thriving port. And we both know you'll bleed those riches dry without my guiding hand.
Leave! Go die in the muck where you belong, heathens!
Wigmund, let's try one final time. Quit Grantbridge. And when she is mine once more, I may spare your life.
Ha! I command Grantbridge. I am master here. And I will scour you rats from this land like rot from a festering wound.
Let me give you some advice, old bear. The surest way to stop a wound from festering isn't with a blade. It's with fire.
Yay!
No! Danes of Grantebridgeshire! Retake what is yours!
Look at Grantebridge. What has Wigmund done to her?
No time for that. We must free her first. I'm at your side, Soma.
Raise your blade to me! Fucking try it! I haven't seen Wigmund since we breached the wall. Regroup at the Longhouse. We'll surely find him there. Death for any Saxon breathing!
Nope. No prisoners. No mercy.
Strike with me! God is with me! Let's blade you! Thanks. Snuff you out!
Wigmund! You cannot hide from me forever! Come face your death!
Heathen eels! Wigmund is gone! He's gone!
Just watch!
Any man who fights for Wigmund dies! Let your plague-ridden body feed my fields. Eivor, to me.
No sign of Wigmund here. He may be hiding within the city walls. Shall we search?
No. He'll be gone. Count on it. Arger coward. But we've struck a bold claim today. Walk with me. I want you to sound our battle horn to announce our victory. Let all the Shire know that Grantebridge is retaken. The sound of the horn means the horn means prosperity, long life, bounty.
Why me?
Why not? You were the keystone to this attack. You turned the tide. Let the wind from your lungs breathe life back into my city. Look at you all! Warriors! Handsome! Beautiful! Blood-soaked! Grantebridge is ours once again! Tomorrow, you will stamp out the last of Wigmund's fading fires. But tonight, we feast as gods! Hey! My clan throws the best feasts, I think you'll find. You enjoy yourself?
I did. But were you celebrating or mourning? You looked unsure.
The night of the attack, I heard sounds of bloodshed coming from the Longhouse. In moments, the city was overrun with Saxons, so I called a retreat. We all have our one day, but not like that. Not that day.
I've heard this before. That the Saxons appeared as if from the shadows.
In all my time in Grantebridge, this tunnel was my most careful project. The best kept secret in the city.
Now 100 or more Saxons know the smell of it.
The only people who knew about this tunnel were me, and the 3 in my inner circle.
You believe you were betrayed?
I know I was.
By whom?
That is where I hesitate. Between Leif, Galinn, and Birna, I cannot say. But they are the 3 who helped me dig this in secret. I hoped you might lend me your wits. You are a fresh ally. I could use your eyes and ears.
I promised you I'd help secure your city. That task isn't yet done, it seems.
Good. I sent Galinn, Leif, and Birna to destroy what remains of Wigmund's power throughout the Shire. Meet with them. Raid with them. Get to know them as best as you can. Find out which of them betrayed me.
I'll do what I can, but you know your warriors far better than I do.
Between you and me, my heart is clouded. I love these three as if we shared a womb. I need clear, sound judgment. I need you, Eivor.
You have me.
Thank you. Feel free to take a look around as you wish. Search the city, the tunnel, and here, a gift, for retaking Grantebridge with us. One of the few things I have left from my blood family.
Soma was smart to build this tunnel. Painted cross. A trail of yellow paint drops. This tunnel leads to the Longhouse. The trader marked it with a yellow cross, then opened the way and let them in. The trader must have exited here with a few more, heading away towards the riverbank.
Rats, be gone!
Tough lands, old man?
Those rats. I tried everything. I poured lye, I harvested locusts, I hired children to kill them. I need an army of miracles.
They are pesky and have ravaged your good crop. Nah, the gods can't get at rats.
Ha! You heathens and your gods. All I want is to rid my field of rats. Feed the fair folk of the Shire.
You need natural warriors to keep them at bay.
Blasted, cursed, horrible rats.
Someone hauled this bucket of yellow paint all the way down to the riverbank. They quickly painted a longship beached here. Then they sailed off, with allies to help crew the vessel.
Yeah!
The hair gets longer, the nails grow, even when the corpse is cold. I've seen it myself. Eivor, my muscle-banded friend! There's a nest of Wigman's men just here. We're going to pick it clean.
Every last one.
The fewer lice in the bush, the less itchy the pussycat. That's how I see it.
How did you come to join Zoma's army?
I'd been in England for ages before Guthrum, Ivar, Ubba, smuggling under the eyes of Saxons and Danes alike. I lied, stole, had my nose broken. Life wasn't easy, but it taught me how to bear the pain. I just laughed it away. When Soma took me in, she saw more than a smuggler in me. I was useful to something greater than myself. Useful to her vision.
In a world where few saw you as worthy of trust, she's one who did.
Right. And I love that about her. I love everything about her.
You seem to bring life and spirit to this clan. Does Soma feel the same?
If I knew what was going on in another person's head, I'd find life dreadful and dull. But Soma seems to enjoy my company.
In what way?
Her own way. Just not in the way I'd like. Painful truths are easy to bear when you can laugh, you see. Delight in the face of suffering is an act of rebellion.
What do you think of Soma's other warriors? Galin and Leaf?
Oh, Leaf's got that raw animal pull. Every time I see him, I want him to climb me like a tree and nest in my armpits. He brays about being honorable, but I've never met a man of honor who starts a fire just to be praised for putting it out. And Gallin, he broods like it's an art form. He's got this self-importance that is just so charming.
We could talk all day, but these Saxons may fly from their nest.
You and I should take a closer look. My men will hang back and come running if things go sideways. Fighting beside you should bring a thrill. Happy I can see it up close.
Don't get too close. I might black your eye or bruise your head.
You'd lose your elbow before the bruises showed. These still don't see me.
Not everyone is so fast-eared as you.
More's the pity.
Then take you.
Come, boy! Away you shoot! I'll keep stayed focused. I'll wear your jaw like a crown!
Not getting away from me! Get round the door!
Jesus, guide my blows. Oh, snap your sword!
Getting tired! We have this!
That's all of them.
Ah, the solitude. Like I was telling you. Ah, the solitude. Shame about the smell, though.
You fought very well, Björn.
Is that how you flirt, Eivor?
Is that how I what?
Easy now, Drengir. I'll see you back in Grantbridge.
This priest blows as much air as a hailstorm. He cannot be allowed to keep spewing.
Did you sail through a storm? You never mentioned.
Eivor, a fine day for being out, no?
Soma said I would find you here, Leif. What's your plan?
We're ridding the world of a priest who spouts praise for the Elderman and funnels tithes into Wickman's coffers. So the plan is this. We sneak in, gut the priest, and return to Soma. That will get Wickman steaming.
How did you come to join Soma's army?
We came to England together, sailing under Guthrum. The great summer army, the Saxons called us. When Guthrum left for Wessex, Soma stepped forward to lead. Something I would have liked to do myself.
What would you do if you were the Jarl of Grantbridge?
I would run the city my own way. I would not give Birna and Galen's opinions equal weight.
Do you not trust them?
I wouldn't say that. It's more. Birna's boots are stuck in the mud, and Galen's are in the sky. If death were bearing down upon us, I worry neither would have what it takes to carry us through.
You were there when Guthrum made Soma the steward of Grantbridge. How did that feel?
Good fortune for her. When Soma took hold, the silver started flowing and the people started dancing. She knows trade. I do wish I'd been bold enough to put myself forward, to take on the burden and honor of running a city. But that's beside the point. Soma is my Jarl's corner, and I'm her sworn man. No act of any god will change that.
As a master shipbuilder, what does your work require?
Patience and love. I know each of our vessels as a parent knows their child. But building ships needs silver too. The hard wood, the tough fabrics, the expensive paints. The yellow I use, for instance, that must be imported. A high price for a happy color. I'm certain that's why someone stole my paint some weeks ago. Blasted thief.
Good conversation, Leif. Now let's take down Wickman's man.
Too right, too right. Wickman's whelp awaits his reward. My warriors will distract the Saxon forces at the gate. You and I will find the priest. You know, I would much prefer a more straightforward approach. But for you, I'll try something new.
I should be cautious. How kind. I'll keep your voice down. Wickman's priest is in the church.
flames are rooting around in the hay, swine. Let's stay awake.
Yes! Fly up! Reverend! No! Help us, Lord! Gente! Fly up! Reverend! Skjute! Forget all the whales up! We're trying to person! No! Justice awaits, coward! The thrill of the chase! Oh my y'all! Can't scamper free this time! Strike with me! Together, lads, we have this! You're one too, brother. You yellow dog! Right! Guards! Help! Help!
Well struck. We made short work of Wickman's man.
That we did. You've proven yourself an asset to us. I'll see you back in Grantbridge.
All that has happened. What if Soma is just cursed with bad luck?
Soma has only ever pleased the gods. Deserting her now, breaking your oath, that is what will bring us ill luck. Yes. Eivor, I am honored you have joined us.
What's your plan here?
All the Shire support Soma's ruling the city. These hamlets do not. They're feeding and outfitting Wickman's army. So we will burn their homes, quick and devastating, like the thunderclaps of Thor.
How did you come to be in Soma's clan?
A vision from Evolva set me on this path. It pricked my mind like a splinter, then faded. But I wanted more. For months, years, I ate only henbane, mushrooms, sacred plants, hoping to see something new. But my body dwindled. I lived addled, maddened, a wanderer, taken in by Saxons and spat out, again and again, until Soma found me, naked and alone in the Fens. She clothed and cared for me, humbled as I was. I owe her my life.
Visions can be strange and powerful. What did you see?
I was climbing a mountain, a lion and a snake upon my back, weighing me down. I struggled. Then Soma appeared, and she eased my burden. When we reached the peak, there was hardly enough room to stand. On a point like the tip of a blade, we teetered there, gripping one another, tightly. I know I can seem distant, obsessed. But the gods are with us always. I see it as my duty to shelter Soma from their ire.
What do you think of the others? Leif and Birna?
Leif. He's a talented sailor, if a little enthusiastic. And Birna, well, Birna thinks of life as a grand joke. She was a smuggler when Soma pulled her from the muck, making a living on lies. Birna is part of my clan, and I will fight beside her, irreverent as she is. But she has no care for her destiny.
I'm eager to start throwing torches.
Now let's rid these hamlets of Wickman's rats. Light your torches and set your arrow tips ablaze, Eivor. The red enemy of the branch will make quick work of this place.
Best raise my hood here.
We are a curse visited upon them all!
Leave no house unburnt.
This is what they get for helping Rand Grandbridge from Soma.
For licking Alderman Whitman's boots.
Take your last one!
Gonna die! Die! In nomine Patris!
Work with me!
Get back here!
Out of options, dog!
Focus, we have this!
I'll kill you now!
With me, here!
In step with me!
The smell of burning roof thatch and a heady turf fire. Now that was something. Wickman is sure to take notice.
You stamped and roared like a fiery Surtur himself, marching through the flames of Muspelheim. I'll see you back home, Drenga.
You'll get nothing out of me. Nothing!
Insects like you! Eivor, the plan worked. One of Wigman's captains caught him sniffing around Euroli Ponte. Remember, you don't need to kill him. Have fun. I'll be planning our next move in the Longhouse.
Little boy, where is your daddy hiding?
Godless heathens.
Grantbridge is a province of Lord Wigman of Walden. The city is rightfully his.
Poor soldier. Doesn't know what heathens do to men of God like him. Hasn't heard the stories, it seems.
We can educate him. Look at those ham hands. Could make a nice pair of gloves.
And his heart. A heart that beats in a lad like this. Feed a family of 6 for a week.
Let's cut his throat now and water the orchards with his blood.
No, sweet lord, no, no, no. He's on the Isle of Ely, Ealdorman Wigmund, in the monastery, I swear.
Thought that would take till the next morn. Let's tie him up and let him rot away.
Oh, fucking Dane halfwits! The Lord will smite you from this land, all of you! May God have mercy on...
That home-thieving snake might have cast a curse on us. I couldn't risk it.
Christians don't curse.
Wigman's on the Isle of Ely. I'll tell Soma what we've learned.
I have an iron stomach and a powerful thirst.
Eivor, what did Wigman's little man have to tell us?
Wigman is at the monastery on the Isle of Ely.
Hiding among the church mice. I'll need to plan our attack. But I won't face him while the traitor he commands is still under my roof. So what have you learned?
Your secret tunnel had many footprints nearby, and its mouth was painted with a yellow mark. Whoever betrayed you, they did so by marking the tunnel entrance, then opening the way to let the Saxons in. Leif told me his yellow paint had been stolen.
Yellow is a troublesome color to make. He was upset when his stores were stolen.
I found an empty barrel of yellow paint beside a longboat launch. Yellow paint was used to mark a boat the night of the attack.
An odd time for a fresh coat of paint. But that's his work, is it not?
Garland told me he was near death when you found him and saved his life.
Yes, people thought him cursed. He was adrift in deep water. But don't we all deserve a guide back to the shallows?
Garland puts his visions above everything, to the point of fanaticism.
Visions are like clouds. Each person sees a different meaning in the shape, and Garland sees an important meaning.
Birna used to be a smuggler, hardly an honorable life.
There is honor among even the lowliest of men. Danes know that better than most.
Birna is in love with you. Unanswered love is a volcanic emotion.
Birna has always been unpredictable. But she's a warrior grown. She does not let her emotions guide her actions.
Leif disagrees with how you run Grantbridge.
This city thrives under me, as a bustling port for his longships, for instance.
Leif wishes he had stepped up to lead. And to be where you are now.
Leif has a celebrated place in my clan. As a shipbuilder, he is without peer, and he knows I know this.
That's all the evidence I think we need.
You've been thorough. Who is the traitor?
I need more time to think.
Of course. Feel free to search the Shire for clues, and speak to anyone you wish.
Think you can swill with the best?
Well, you're not the regular sunbeam I've come to know. Something weighing on you?
I was wondering on a few things. What happened the night of the attack?
The people were at peace. A beautiful night, fog and all. Then came the Saxons all around. And Soma roaring like a great bear. When she called a retreat, we ran for the longboats, aiming to regroup in the swamps. It was an ambush, no more, no less.
I need to get going. These bags are bienes, packed for a long journey. These bags are bienes, packed for a long journey. You there. Did you see anything strange around Grandbridge before the attack?
I didn't. I was in the longhouse drinking with Birna and her man all night. She can really put it away.
Did you see anything strange on the night of the attack?
Come to think of it, I noticed one of the longships wasn't where it usually is. It was beached further north, on the riverbank.
Where was this?
Northeast of here, along the shore. It's been a few days, though. May not be there now.
I feel your army of cats have a destiny unrealized. You are a Freya of the Fens.
What? Who the hell is Freya? Is she the whore that tried to eat my cat queen last week?
She is a goddess, much like you, with pious and mighty cats that help her fight. Show your claws, good lady.
Oh yes, mighty. That is what they are, and me, their goddess. If you want, use this key and see for yourself. Ooh, my pretty babies.
There you are. Head to the fields. Tat-tat. Fight your battle.
Like this Freya you spoke of. I should release them and use them as warriors.
Cats are sacred beings. They help keep harmony. Your rat problem has been taken care of. Pray to Freya.
I never thought the meow of cats could soothe my soul. Take this key. In my house I have some goods. Please, help yourself.
Aid me. Be my eyes.
Away from me, damn ya!
This longship commanded with bandits. The survivors ran into the fog, pursued by half the party, while the other bandits looted it. This longship is splashed with yellow paint. A quick job. Why would it be painted a different color than the others? This longship is splashed with yellow paint. A quick job. Why would it be painted a different color than the others? This carving references gallon in verse.
Did you find enough clues around Grantbridgeshire? Are you ready to choose the traitor?
I found Garland's longboat painted hastily with yellow paint on the day of the attack.
Why would he mark his longboat differently from the rest of ours?
That's all the evidence I think we need.
You've been thorough. Who is the traitor?
Garland betrayed you.
Are you certain? This will be the hardest thing I have ever done. Stay close by me, Eivor. I will need you.
How do you plan to deal with this?
As a leader must. My family, my inner circle. Today we make sure what has happened to us will never happen again. We end Wigmund's life. But not all together. For you cannot survive the winter with a rat in your larder. Galen. You have betrayed me, Galen.
I haven't! Soma, you're the key to my life. You must lead me to my destiny. Carry me to the summit of victory.
Do not warp what is real with the stories you tell yourself. I have seen no signs of your destiny. What I have seen is my people slaughtered, my city befouled, and your delusions fueling the destruction. How dare you think your destiny, your greatness, outweighed all of ours? He believed too much in fate, and not enough in us. Take him away. I feel as if I have torn off my own arm.
Wigmund deserves death, but killing him won't make your family whole again.
You think I don't know? This is for those who follow. To join me is to take an oath. To break it is to suffer. We make camp on the outskirts of the Isle of Eels. Join us there.
She carries the weight of leadership on one shoulder and the bonds of her people on the other. Now that she's lost one, she walks lopsided. It will take years of toil to rebuild those bonds with her people. Yet she is unburdened now. Lighter. She's a leader, not a friend, Eivor. Her mistake was thinking she could be both.
Think you can swell with the best?
Traitor is lost in hell by now.
They will have the lost souls of the dead to answer to.
Soma.
Eivor. You're still with me through all this. Do not think I'll forget.
We all need someone in dark times. Now let's collect Wickman's head.
Good. At the first sign of trouble, my crew will jump in. He's hiding. At the summit of the hill, I can smell him.
I hope he likes the view. It's the last he'll ever see.
Lightning tingles my blood, Eivor. I hear the voices of my slaughtered people on the air, calling Wigman's name.
He doesn't leave this monastery alive.
My palms itch. Where is that rat? I am going to skin him alive on sight.
Show me.
I will tear his throat from his neck with my teeth.
Give me a hand with this. Wait! Are you? We want into the box!
Quod est naturae unicis Deus manifestat opportunity.
You'll die in agony, Backraut!
You can't kill me, Soma. Not truly. For what I am, unkillable.
Stop flapping your mouth and die!
Actiones actus Dei, totitaria emotis super fontis memorium.
Take you! The worms! Birna! Stop him! He needs to erase me, to banish me from your minds. Fight in my name. Die for me. Die for me.
That is no way to call for sacrifices. Their lives for yours. Is that how it works?
Their lives meant nothing. No land, no riches, no titles. But my name will live on.
The reputation of a good man never dies. But your name will soon be a curse.
So be it. The riches I had in life gave me power. To curse me from beyond the grave gives me still more. Though I die, my order lives on elsewhere, everywhere. Yield to us. Give us what we are owed. The trade, the riches, the legacy, all of it. Yield! Yield! Yield!
If your hell is real, I'm glad you'll get to see it.
Return to camp. I let go and burn this heap to the ground. Going forward, I must take care. Houses can be built anew. Crops will return with time, but I trust that will take longer to repair.
But you...
Like I was telling you.
But you have a new friend and ally in me and my clan, Soma. The end of the storm is well in sight.
You're right. I know you're right. It's just... it's difficult to see that end when you're still in the storm's eye. Eivor, you've been a guiding light. Calling out Galinn like that, exposing his treachery, made me sick with a quiet terror.
A betrayal like that is already a kind of death. Galinn killed himself.
Of course. And now I feel somewhat lifted. The weight is almost gone. Even if my heart needs mending. Ah, while I have you, Eivor, I'm reminded. I have this for you. Keep it, knowing you have my highest respect, regard, and trust. My army is yours, should you need it.
Soma Jarlskona, my deepest thanks.
And there's something else. As we prepared our assault, Birna had a word with me. We came to a sort of understanding. It may be best if she tells you herself. Until next time, Eivor of the Raven Clan. I hope we will see you in Grantebridge soon.
Eivor!
Birna, you struck quite a victory today.
Don't undercut your own ferocity, Drengir. It was your blade leading the charge. You are indeed something to behold.
We all fought hard. And now Grantebridge is yours. You have your home once again.
Soon merchants and priests and reeves will run loose in its streets. All of its muddy charms will dwindle. Besides, with no room for me in Soma's heart, my home burned away in a quiet little house fire. Her priority is Grantebridge and the people in it. That is noble, and beyond what I will ever understand. So I've decided I'm of better use elsewhere. With you. In your crew.
You want to live with the Raven Clan?
And sail and raid with you. If you'll have me. Look at this. Who wouldn't?
I'll be happy to have you, Drenga.
A relief to these ears. I've already packed my bags.
Now it seems the wind calls me back to Randvi. Let's tell her the good news.
Good day, Eivor. Absolutely not.
Understood.
Jailbird. Getting used to us yet?
Yes, indeed. Your people have been so hospitable, and Randvi has taught me so much about your tactics. Your approach to war.
But not so much that you might use it against us.
No, heaven forfend. In spite of your invasive introduction to England, you have treated me and my father with kindness. I want this alliance to last. To mean something. I mean that.
In truth, I think he does.
Good. I'm glad you're fitting in, Jailbird.
Understood.
We are allied with the Danes of Grantebridge Shire. Their Jarlskona, Soma, has pledged an oath.
Well done, Eivor. These early victories will pay off well.
They will. In more than one way. One of Soma's finest fighters, Birna, has pledged her blade to us. She's a powerful fighter and a charming spirit. I think she'll fit in nicely.
Glad to have her. Good work. At one time, the title Jarl referred to a man second only to the king. But that use has softened. Now a Jarl may be a chief, a leader, or a man with broad wealth and influence.
The world is bigger now, and broken into many pieces. It seems our language must do the same to keep up.
An interesting thought.
Jailbird, your father sent you here to learn, not teach.
Then you must start, Eivor. Give us a summary of our recent gains, for instance. The clan is thirsty for knowledge.
You want me to give a speech? Right. My friends, hearken to me, and hear a tale of triumph and toil. I have traveled far since we landed, and seen much on the roads and fields of this new England. And for all my travels, strong alliances have we gained. The Honorable Ceolwulf, King of Mercia, now calls us friend. And to the south, Soma Jarlskona and the Danes of Grantebridge have pledged their oath to us. By Sigurd's hand and my own, we have strengthened the ties of...
You seat yourself as Sigurd's equal in these tales of yours. Would Sigurd do the same if he were here?
I do not claim to be Sigurd's equal, but I will not shy from the triumphs I have fairly won, Dag. Let glory seek and find those who have earned it. If that means me, so be it. If that means you, any of you, all the better. And so I raise my horn, first to Sigurd, may he return to us soon, and to the Raven clan, the best of friends and fighters.
To Sigurd!
To Sigurd! May he return and relieve us of you!
And may all of you enjoy the ale as much as Dag has. Skull!
You think me drunk, Eivor? Would it soften my blows if I was?
Your words are blunt enough, but it would explain your boldness.
My eyes are clear and open, and I see before me one eager to claim a piece of Sigurd's glory.
If you're not yet drunk, you should be. This is a feast and a celebration of Sigurd's leadership. Enjoy it.
Just as I thought. You're...
Attackers from the river! They look to be Danes!
Danes? How many?
Too many. Now come, the battle roars already.
Bloody curse! What quarrel have Danes with us?
Those who can fight, take up your weapons. All others stay here. With me!
Keep them away from the longhouse! Split your skull!
Does this stir your thirst for faster than me? There is nothing for you here but death!
What's my lead?
They hide their wealth in the longhouse! Break the walls down!
of sight! Hurry! Who sent you to die here?
We are bidden by the gods.
No survivors! Burn them to the ground! Your guts out!
Your plan is as weak as they claim. We will pick its bones.
You've seen nothing of our strength!
Kill any who stand in your way!
Fight smart! Use your glimmer! You will meet only death there!
Is that the last of them?
The rivers are clear. If more were coming, they thought better of it.
By their colors and markings, I believe they come from Geatland. But with none left alive to spill their secrets, we may never know why.
Here is one. This vermin was crawling to the river, hoping to float away.
Have mercy, friend. And you may find an ally with us.
Mercy is earned by the quickness of your tongue. Where do you come from, and what is your quarrel with us?
We are settled in East Anglia. Newly arrived and hungry for silver.
You drifted off course. This is Mercia.
As we were ordered.
By whom?
You bore me.
Useless hound. Scratching your ass in search of silver. Put an end to this one.
Your silence earned you no kindness, Geet. So I'll ask you once more. Who sent you?
The wind sent us. And the rivers will take us home.
He begs for death, Eivor. Give it to him.
Or send him home with a warning. Let him tell his people what death awaits them, should they sail this way again.
Go, and do not return.
Ugh.
I thank you.
This is not mercy, it is death deferred. Whoever sent you warned them of the slaughter that awaits should any return.
Oh, what tales I will tell.
Send one of your scouts to follow him. We will find...
To show mercy would endanger us, soil our reputation as cowards. This was the only end possible.
We could have learned something by tracking him. Now we know nothing.
Sigurd would have acted as I did. That is all the justification I need.
Sigurd is not here to make such a call, but I am. And if you cross me again, you will know about it.
I see you, Eivor. And I know what you are.
Put no stock in what Dag says. His bluster may be loud, but it blows softly.
Get this cleaned up, and we'll talk of next steps. Message has come. what do you see? Bjorn Bloodtooth's cave should be close by. That must be Bjorn the Berserker.
My eyes cannot forget the sight, Njal. Her hair so long and falling down. How are you cold? Bear skins you, wolf shirts you, tasters of blood. They call us shield-blackers, wall-breakers, born in battle's flood. Soon, Elfhildar. Soon.
A man who fights beside a great white bear. You are Bjorn Bloodtooth.
Ask the dead. What do they tell you?
They say, we do not want shapeshifters in these lands.
They wished me dead. They are not the first. And you, come to make your name in battle. Another corpse at my door won't matter.
I'm not here to fight you, Bjorn. I am Eivor of the Raven clan, and I offer you a seat in our hall.
I have no clan, and no need of another.
You prefer to live alone here with your bear?
I prefer vengeance against the men who hung my wife and left her for the crows.
Who is this man?
A Mercian lord, whose name shall not sour my lips. He has scores of men, an army perhaps, but that will not stop me.
Then let me help. If you truly wish to avenge your wife, you must not fall in battle.
I shall think it over. Njal, go with my bear. Feel her belly. And if Njal trusts you, who knows? Maybe we do as you say.
You're tame for so wild a beast. Is that so? Tell me, what does a bear like you eat? Whatever you want, huh? Best you show me then. A mixing bowl for making Berserker brew. It smells of piss and nightshade. The Skalds say Bjorn carried you into battle when you were but a bear cub. Raised you as one would raise a child. Your favorite flowers? They're not food, Njal. Reminds me of summer in Norway. We had fields like these near Hemminger's Hall. I can see why Bjorn keeps you around. Ah, the lake. It is fish you want. I can help with that. Fishing arrows. Now to catch something for Njal. Do you want some fish, Njal? Here. Nothing better than fresh fish. Eat your fill, friend.
Master!
Bjorn may be in trouble as well.
You have a strong war arm, Ravenshirt.
These men did not come for the fame of defeating a legendary berserker.
No. They were followers of the Mercian Lord. My blood enemy. My wife's killer.
How did your wife die?
Fame has two faces, Eivor of the Ravens. In Norway, many a young thane wanted the glory of killing me. They died. I grew tired of killing. Alfhildr and I, we came here for a new start. A quiet life.
But fame sailed ahead of you. This Mercian lord learned of your deeds, sought to boost his own name with your blood.
You have the right of it. Only he wanted me to drink the Berserker brew first. When I refused, he demanded. Offered gold, even taunted me. Then he hung her. Alfhildr.
Your blood feud is just. But if it is something you must do alone...
No. Your words are wise. I do not want to die fighting. I want to die knowing my wife is avenged. I want to kill that man. Help me.
Tell me what you need.
Nightshade. It's the last bit of magic I need for my Berserker brew.
You shall have it. And when this is over, I trust the Raven clan will have your axe.
When you find the Nightshade, bring it to me beneath the gallows tree south of Beodoriswar. Nightshade often grows near graveyards, and Saxons build their graveyards near churches.
Nightshade grows in graveyards. No shortage of those in Christian England. I feel stronger already. Nightshade has a distinct stench. Like this. That is enough, Nightshade. Foul-smelling herb. I should meet Bjorn. Bjorn, here as promised. Your Nightshade.
Good. It has the power we need for the coming ritual. Nearly done.
The Skalds say Odin hung himself in a tree much like this. He lived, though. Most die.
Yggdrasil, the world tree. Odin's gallows. The place where life and death are one. Ride with me, Raven. The Sather awaits. Berserker brew hits hard. It may open your eyes to the spirit realm. It may turn you into a savage beast. Whatever happens, Face it without fear. How are you cold? You bear skins, you wolf shirts, you tasters of blood. We are the shield biters, war breakers, born in battle's flood.
What do you fight for, you bear skins?
You wolf shirts, you drinkers of blood.
We fight for glory, we shield biters!
Wall breakers, born in battle's flood!
I've been close to death many times, but this was different. Feels like a Jotun kicked my head in.
'Tis glorious, is it not?
Berserker brew does not agree with my belly.
But you live still. Can you feel the power of the bear's blood coursing through your veins?
Yes, but you were a bear.
And the bear power courses through me still.
I'm ready. Where to?
The Mercians who slew my wife cowered in Beodoritsworth. We shall kill them all! With me! No! Jarl will taste mercy and blood!
Show me what you can do, Berserker!
With you. The Lord is my strength.
Best raise my hood here.
Show yourselves,
Coward! To me! Jarl! Jörn! Let's strip the dog up! Down you! For you! Follow my lead! Oh, God! Time to die! Going to smash you! Suffer!
I always wanted to fight a berserker. And a white bear run to make a fine trophy.
You will fight me!
It's good plunder here, but I'll need help.
Spread out! We have this! Defeat the Raven this day! Odin! Odin! Ah!
Let us leave this blasted place.
You're mine!
Hey, come here!
Die now! Try to trap me, blow!
Don't think you're leaving here alive.
Look at this little boy!
Flee! Suffer! Suffer!
Let's slow this imp down!
I'll see what you did.
Give me a hand!
Flank here! Press hard!
How much longer, Trotback?
Hey, come here a moment! Right, let's get back to the ship. Bjorn, your enemy has fallen. You have your revenge.
Yes. But now I fear I must ask you one last thing. Should you be willing?
What is it?
Njal is tired. I will tend to her beneath the tree where this all began. Please, bring us some of her favorite flowers. They look like...
I know the ones. I'll gather them and meet you beneath the gallows tree.
Stay strong, my child. Bjorn is here.
I saw some of Njal's favorite flowers growing beneath the gallows tree. His wife's grave. No wonder he visits this tree often. Flowers for Njal. Now to meet Bjorn beneath the gallows tree.
I brought her here, where it began, where it ends.
I understand.
They hung my wife in this tree, and buried her among its roots.
A grim and undeserved fate.
We took Njal in as a cub, she and I. No children of our own. Now both are gone. Yet I remain. Dear Njal, you were always at my side for the better years of my life. Why must it end like this?
Njal sleeps at the All-Father's feet tonight.
Yes. They let loyal hounds into the Hall of the Brave. So Njal too is there. With Alfhilda. Before, you asked if I would join your clan. I am ready.
Good. There will be a place for you on my longship and in my clan.
I shall sing of Alfhilda and Njal during our travels. Sing of their deeds. And I will carry their names into battle.
When you're ready, follow the River Nen to my settlement. We shall welcome you as a brother.
I will be the Berserker of the Raven clan.